All right, welcome to lesson 72, writing percents as fractions and decimals. Now you've already written fractions as percents and decimals as percents, and now we're just working this the other way. And on the board I have three percentages, 1%, 9%, and 65%. You need to turn those into fractions. Now when you're talking about percentages out of a whole, remember that a whole is 100%. You ate the whole pie, you ate 100% of it. This would be 1%. That'd be 1 out of 100%. You only got one question right on the test with 100 questions. Not very good. So you would write it just that way. 1 out of 100. Now it's written in a fraction form with the 1 as the numerator, out of 100 the denominator. Just follow the pattern again. 9 100ths and 65 100ths. Alright? Now technically all three of these are correct. However, 1 needs to be rewritten another way. Since we have done reducing as a lesson, you are required in my class now to reduce all answers. Now 1 out of 100 is reduced. 9 out of 100 is also reduced. There's no common factor for 9 and 100. But for 65 and 100, there is a common factor. What goes into a 65 and a 100? Okay? Think about it a little bit. Hope you came up with 5. 65 and 100 are both divisible by 5. So I always tell my class, whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 100 divided by 5 is 20, and 65 divided by 5 is, count them, there's 10 for 50, and 3 more would be 13. 13 20ths. Now, you gotta also look at that fraction and see, can you keep reducing? And with this one, you cannot. 13 is prime, 1 into 13 can go into it, and 13 does not go into 20, so you're done with that one. Let's go ahead and do the one on your reteach, number 7. It says to draw a number line, divide it into tenths, and to place some fractions and percents on that. Let's try doing that right now. Alright, making sure that shows up on the screen. Let's write the numbers. Alright, up on the board, I've drawn my number line. I put 10 spaces in there. I wrote the 4 numbers that we need to place up at the top. It's 30%, 4 tenths, 90%, and 7 tenths. Now you've been familiar with placing fractions on the line, so let's do those. 4 tenths the way would be 4 hops, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will put a bubble there and I'll write 4 tenths. Now keep hopping until we get to 7. 5, 6, 7. That would be 7 tenths. I've used these two. Now let's find 30% and 90%. Now think of it as a fraction. 30% is 30 out of 100. And if you were to reduce that and divide both by tens, cross out those zeros, you'd have 3 tenths. 30% should be 3 hops across. Right next to the 4 tenths. And if you follow that pattern, you probably recognize that 90% would be 9 tenths. That's correct. 90 questions out of 100 is 9 tenths, which is right before a whole. You need to label it as a percentage. Right. If you have trouble converting that percents into fractions, then let me know. I'd be glad to help you out. Thanks.